capsule in one of these pipes. Can't remember which one.
Raft prisoners are holding up a store and took hostages.
That looks like a robbery by some rat prisoners.
Like that. I have a family. Look. We can still win this. I can help with that. Need some help! Come on, don't let him beat us! If you're smart, you'll run!
Convicts are down. How many of these guys are still running around?
Monitor off. I wonder if folks can hear me now. It probably was because I had the output muted. I'm wondering if they can maybe hear me now. That's very funny. I'm gonna answer this question about how do I get my black mom to take me. Okay, I fixed it. Y'all. Ain't nobody say nothing. Y'all ain't on your boy. YouTube, y'all supposed to have my back. YouTube is where I go after TikTok done got done spitting me up and chewing me out because they ain't watched any of my other videos that I made and can't see the context, so they think I'm out here saying they lazy if it ain't ADHD, and that ain't what I'm saying. If you've been following me since I had carpet and not this beautiful backdrop, you know my heart, and you know I ain't saying nothing like that. Thank you so much. It's so good to see y'all, YouTube. Let me talk. Oh, people talk about my hair. If I'll just, I'm gonna be killer. Y'all, it's been a year and a half since I've gone out but I'm gonna go out this Friday. I'm going out on this Friday. I am going out on this Friday. Now, I'm not gonna go out and be crazy. I'm not finna go out and, I'm not finna go out and like, you know what? I could play Spider-Man as I talk about this. I'm not finna go out and be, a complete and total hoe. But when I tell y'all I'm finna go out and just flirt with people because I can, bruh, oh my gosh. And I'm gonna try not to leave with a wife this time because that's how that shit happened. Anyway, how do I get my black mom to take me to therapy? So this is what I want you to do, child. Because normally I don't talk to kids, but I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna talk with children whenever there are other people present, because I think that's how it should be. And you got a question and you need somebody to answer it. And if I don't answer it, a life coach is gonna answer it, and they gonna say, well, just tell your mom that you're going to life coaching, which is honestly the correct answer. If we could just I need to become a life coach is the issue. That's the solution to the problem, The solution to the problem is I need to be a life coach. Because if I was a life coach, I guarantee you that black parents will have no problem sending their kids to the life coach that's going to help them get their life together because they don't think their kids going to talk about therapy stuff. So, child, I want to explain to you and every other child why your parents don't want you to go to therapy. I'm just going to be honest with you about it, just to shame the devil and tell the truth. Because it's just somebody got to say it, okay? So this is the reason most black parents don't want their kids to go to school. And if I get any white folks in my comments on TikTok, because some people on YouTube know not to do that, we gonna have a talk. I'm gonna dedicate the rest of the week to dragging you and your entire bloodline, all right? So I don't need to hear no amens from white folks. This is a black folks issue, okay, child? The reason that your parents don't believe in mental health is not 100% all their fault, okay? We're gonna start there. It's not 100% your parents' fault that they don't believe in mental health. The mental health system in America has absolutely screwed over black people to a degree that I can't even get into right now. The mental health in America for black folks is just prison with a few extra steps. I'm not lying to you. You think I'm joking, but mental health for black folks is just prison with a few extra steps sometimes, especially if you get a white supremacist like therapist who think they ain't white supremacists because they're helping the niggas. You know what I'm saying? So it is okay for black people to be skeptical about therapy. I get that shit 100%. I really do. And if skepticism about the therapist is what has you afraid to go to therapy, then test them out. Find you a therapist that will give you a free consultation. And I know it's hard. I'm trying to build it for you. Find you someone. But that's not the main reason why black folks are skeptical of therapy. If you were asking me this question, if you like my content, if you follow me up until this point, that means that I have said something that has been particularly validating to you, right? And what do I talk about mostly? Well, mostly, if I'm paying attention, I will talk to you about how spanking your children is abuse. That's what I discuss. And so if I say spanking your children is abuse, parents know for a fact that hitting your kid is not beneficial for them in the long run. It's probably not great, It's probably at a base level, hitting your kids and telling them that it's love is probably not doing good things for their anxiety, probably not doing good things for their depression. And what gets me is when kids are being spanked at home and then also put on medication for depression when the cause of the depression is that they might get their ass beat at any one time. That can't be great, but people want to get mad at the situational therapist for talking about medication. I'm not talking about everyone, I'm talking about a very specific population of people. But I'm going off on a tangent, and that's not a good look. So, the reason that some black parents, not all, because I have to watch my words, that's why I like talking with my community, because I don't have to do that. But the reason that some black parents don't want their kids to go to therapy is because they think that something is gonna happen because they gonna tell that, hey, mama been spanking me. They are afraid what will happen. They really are. They're super terrified. And it's just the truth, because honest to God, I've had black parents who spanked their kids before in my practice. And I mean, I didn't say anything about it because at that point, I don't need to talk about it. You're my client. I'm here to help you however I need to. But that is one of the main reasons why they said they didn't come. And I know that's anecdotal information. I can hear a white person now saying that that's anecdotal information. But that's one of the really big reasons. And we just got to remove, I don't want to say remove the stigma around spanking our kids, but we need to let people know, like, it would be better for you to get your kid in therapy than to, it would be better to get your child in therapy. So long story short, I'm sorry that I have not done a good enough job of convincing black parents to let their kids go to therapy. But there are some people where there is no convincing them. So another option is, I know in Washington State, you only have to be, you can seek out counseling services when you're 15, maybe 16. And so that's one option. But the only issue is who's going to pay for it, right? And if you do go to therapy, like, and you use your insurance, your parents are going to know about it. And if you reach out to a therapist at your age, it should be enough of a warning signal to someone that they might get interested. I know that if I lived in a state and a child reached out to me for therapy and I was unable to see them because they were underage, I would just, I don't know, man, I might be making some calls somewhere. Say that again so I can turn my volume up in front of your parents. That's another way that you could do that. Give me just a second and message me whenever you are in front of them, and then I'll say it again in front of your parents. I found you on Craigslist? What? Wait, can everybody hear me or just a few folks? No, everybody said they can hear me. It might just be you, boss. You can only hear the game. That's strange. Huh, go to settings, press the settings button, and then see if you can change the settings. Hang on real quick. Try refreshing, Stacy. Yeah, I think that might help too. So let's see, did you ask that question? TikTok hasn't been showing me your content. No, I have been off of TikTok because I'm ticked. There was a kid that said they were gonna play my audio in front of their parents, and I was just wondering if they could let me know whenever they get there so I could re-say that thing again. Someone on TikTok just asked me, do I need a therapist? How in the world can I possibly answer that question for you? The only thing that I could say is, yes, you need a therapist because you're asking me, but like, I think everybody could benefit from therapy, but you don't need a therapist, you need a good one. You need someone that feels like talking to an old friend who will also help you if you get to a place where, you know, we can all have crises sometimes. Are you TikToked? Man, I saw some people using TikTok on the train. This is for gamers, so I'm curious. Stacy, what games you be playing? Joanne, what games y'all be playing? I'm just curious. I'm not saying that you're not gamers. I'm just curious. I just wonder. Everybody tell me what games they playing. Let him know. Okay, can you say that I just need their opinion on the topic? You can say that I just need their opinion on the topic. You look musty. Me? Huh. Skin deep. He said I look musty. That's so cute. Thank you. That's such a nice compliment. Do you mean like musty in like a strong way, like an elephant? Like I'm just, oh, that's musk. Musty like I smell bad? How do you know how I smell it on the TikTok? I'm just very confused by that. What do you think of family vloggers? I think that kids don't have any way to give consent to that mess. And you know, just people that just want attention and stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think. He's just racist. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. I want a black queer therapist who is also a woman, but I won't hold my breath. Child, you shouldn't have to hold your breath. They out there. There's a website, multiculturalcounselors.org. I think that's one. But if you just wait, man, you shouldn't have to wade through it. I should probably create a therapist listing site. What we need to do is make it to where therapists can see clients across state lines. Okay, your parents are around. Great. Hi, I'm the situational therapist, a therapist on TikTok, and you have absolutely no reason to listen to anything that I'm saying. But I just ask that you give me a moment of your time to convince you of something that I think you will realize will be in everyone's best interest. Your child has expressed an interest in therapy, and it has come to my attention, not specifically, but generally speaking, that maybe you might think that there are some negatives associated to therapy, right? Sometimes people think that therapy is going to change their child. Sometimes think that therapy is going to indoctrinate them with beliefs. Sometimes people think that therapy is going to push your child further away from you. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. In therapy, we do talk about family dynamics. At least a good therapist will. And I know that you are probably going to go, if you're doing your due diligence, after you listen to this speech, and if it rouses you, if it makes you feel like I'm going to give this a chance, you're probably going to go look me up. And what you're going to find is a bunch of content that seems like I blame parents all the time. And I just want to let you know, the reason that I make content like that is to show you that not all therapists are like that. I am the only one who tends to be that, you know, biased at times. But a good therapist will talk about family dynamics. Now, one thing that you may not realize, because you have not gone to therapy yourself, is that you can only do the best that you can do. You can only parent to the extent that your parents parented you. And if there were any lessons that your parents didn't teach you, then you would be unable to do those things, and conversely, you would be unable to teach them to your child. So therapy is a wonderful opportunity to have supplemental instruction to what you are already doing. A good therapist will always keep you in the loop, and a good therapist will make sure that if you have questions that you are allowed to attend the sessions. But I am telling you, you cannot afford not to let your children get in therapy, because you and I both know that your relationship with each other isn't the greatest, right? You want there to be one person in their life that they feel comfortable saying stuff to, which is why it's super important that if you allow them to go to therapy, that you do not ask them what they talked about in therapy. That completely and totally defeats the purpose of them having a place to speak. You know? So I just ask that you reconsider whether or not you allow your child to get a therapist, because it might be one of the best investments that you ever make in your life. This has been how to convince your parents to go to therapy. Oops, Freudian slip. This has been how to convince your parents, let you go, oh, I don't know, I've screwed it up. I've screwed it up. I hope that helps.
Hey, the Underground's messing with a billboard.
Let's see. Parents feel bad because they're not the one. Let me look at some YouTube questions. Animal Crossing. Y'all, we over here talking about video games. Let's go. What we got on TikTok? Hey, can I please ask advice? I really need help. Not about kids though. I don't give advice, but I will listen to your concerns and then provide you a response that I feel like is enough to get you thinking, but not enough to where you can sue me if you follow the advice I give you and it doesn't work out. Yep. I didn't mean to slip, but see, look, okay, so you said I made the most compelling argument and then the slip. Here's the thing, y'all. If I were being really 100% myself all the time, most of my TikToks would be so mean. Like people, like no one would want to hear me. Like I do my best to wear a very beautiful mask when I talk about these things, because honestly, I just want to scream and cuss the whole time. Because it's just the level of patience that it takes to talk with some people, and somebody needs somebody like that in their lives. And that's why I do it on a limited basis from like 3 to 5 every single day. Yeah. I should probably fight some stuff. I'm just swinging around right now. Can you change personality traits? Y'all, why the universe be triggering me like this? First off, there's no such thing as personality traits. Those are constructs. They don't mean anything. You want to know how I know? A bunch of introverted people realized during the pandemic that they ain't introverted all the time. It's not an all the time thing. Nah, there are some situations where you ain't gonna feel introverted, specifically when you want to go somewhere but somebody else has told you that you can't. So that's number one. But number two, these personality traits, like, for example, let's take leadership. Leadership is a personality trait. If I put a leader in a room, who is he gonna follow? Nobody. So is it possible that there's not a such thing as a personality trait called leadership, but there is a thing as a leader-follower relationship? Because that's the only way that a leader makes sense. But we divorce ourselves from relationship all the time. You can't talk about a leader without talking about their followers. So the fact, not psychiatry, but like modern psychology has this love affair with like making constructs of things. So I don't like that. I don't like that idea. Yeah, all aspects of yourself are absolutely fluid. I think I agree with that. I'm gonna go kill some stuff. Let's find somewhere to go. Go knock out some stuff. Leadership is a skill set that you can learn. Yes. I'm splitting hairs because, I mean, you have to really have language maintain like it means what it means. But yes, leadership is a learnable skill. You can learn how to provide instruction to individuals in such a way that is not like abusive. 100%.
Lab in Chinatown. Can you access their security?
You betcha.
I forgot how you do this. Oh.
You need to web the gears.
Oh my goodness, how do I do this? I've forgotten how to do this. Give me this. Damn it! I cannot remember how to do this. There we go. Goodness gracious.
Down there.
The day I wait for is when I can release all my anger on my parents, and then this is on PlayStation 4.
UC and all the wiring in the lab.
Someone just left a message that said, I look forward to the day where I can release all my anger on my parents and walk away.
Ready and waiting.
You know, I'm not going to tell nobody how to live their life and their subjective experience. I know for me, that same anger that you're talking about, though, was like, I can't wait for the day where I can live on my own, you know? You don't want to let anger consume you. I promise you that you don't. You really don't. But it's okay to be angry. Just because you don't let it consume you don't mean you don't work it out.
You should be able to find it
Yeah.
on the ground floor. Straight ahead.
All right. It'll be easier for me to forget this. I'm not gonna be able to talk for a second because I decided to like just blow up everything. What other questions we got? Yep. Oh boy, big boys. They brought the big boys out. Let's go. And they got racism even in the spike. Man, how you hitting me in my face like that? I'm gonna need you to cut that out. I be forgetting I can go invisible and stuff, man.
Here's your nasty Newport reactor. The solution.
Wow, wow, wow. I should have probably took this a little slow. You know, that's one thing that I'm really bad about, is just making stuff a lot harder on myself than it actually has to be. Sorry, I gotta turn this down. It's loud. 1 second, y'all. This is loud. Oh Lord. Okay.
Any stray spark. I mean, it makes gasoline look like lemonade.
There we go. What questions we got? Have you ever had therapy with African parents? Unfortunately, I have not had the joy or pleasure to do that, but I think it would be awesome. I want to have therapy with a lot more black people. I'm thinking about starting a series where I just talk with black folks who have grown up through trauma, and we just have discussions about stuff, because there's no way I can reach everybody at once as much as I want to. As much as I want to. But I think if I had a way to just share stories so that people realize like the stuff that they went through, like if they're not alone in it, I think that would be super helpful. And like I can even let people like block out their face and stuff, but I gotta start having these conversations with folks. I can't just be mad on TikTok all the time, being upset about stuff that I ain't explained people why they should be upset yet. We're gonna have to do something different. I need to clip that video of me talking to that parent too. Somebody remind me to do that. I do have the freshest cut of all time. Dion, welcome. I'm sorry you weren't able to catch the few live streams. We are here now, and I am playing Spider-Man and getting bodied actually. But I'm also multitasking at the same time. We are doing mental health Q&As. You have hair. Yes, I've always had hair. What other questions TikTok has? Or YouTube, it's fine. I can multitask, see? I'm good. Got this. All at once. Thoughts on psychological testing in pediatric patients. I'm gonna start centering all my questions around black people because somebody needs to. So my thoughts on autism spectrum testing for pediatric patients. Well, for black people, they're not the tests were not made with black folks in mind. So there are a lot of people who are black and autistic who will get diagnosed with like something like schizophrenia when they're having a mental health crisis because the diagnostic criteria was not made with them in mind. So my thoughts are we need more black people doing the diagnosing. And what really sucks is like even, oh man, I got hit head on with that. Even if you know, I can't even diagnose autism because they don't allow family therapists to do that in Washington State. But yeah, that's my thoughts on it. My thoughts are that black people are not being diagnosed and given access to the resources that white kids are because of the systemic racism inherent in diagnosing. That's what I'm gonna be on for the rest of ever. I think I've decided. I've done enough. I have a big enough platform. I have done that thing where, you know, you ever have this for black folks. You ever have someone in your family who, you know, everybody label as crazy and call schizophrenic, and they talk about, you know, like they talk about stuff like how Hollywood is, you know, the elites and stuff like that. In black culture, we talk about how why black men always dress up in dresses. Those people don't be wrong, bro. Those people in your family, they don't be wrong. They don't be wrong at all. They're understanding something that they don't have a language to put to it yet. I don't want to listen to this white man talk. Give me just a second. Sorry, if you was on YouTube, you would understand. But they're not wrong. They're trying to shut up, everybody. Why is everybody talking on? Hang on, give me just a second. I need everybody to be quiet on the no speech. Okay, so those people in your family who be talking about the Hollywood elites, those black folks, they not wrong. They just lack the language necessary to describe it in such a way that doesn't make you feel like they're crazy. They haven't had enough of an experience to be able to explain that to you. So for example, I know for a fact that within my community, there are some people who have looked at my content and basically said, one day he gonna end up wearing a dress, in quotes, right? And again, if you're not black, you don't understand this, but there is keep talking, Derek. If you're not black, you don't understand this, but in our culture, we all know that there's this idea that black men, when they get famous, they sell out by wearing a dress. I remember I had an uncle that would talk about this all the time. But again, it's not about wearing the dress per se, even though it's true, right? Like there's a lot of black actors that wear dresses. Nothing wrong with it at all. I don't think anything is wrong with it. But what it does kind of represent that they don't have language to is that in order to become famous or recognized, you have to appeal to white America. You just do. It is very hard for a black person on their own to become famous at any type of thing unless they appeal to black America. I'm sorry, to white America. Because, I mean, most of my content, I know that it resonates with everyone and I don't want to leave people out. And there are black people, black nerds, black autistic folk that I need to speak to that I can't speak to because every time I try to get their attention, somebody else says something, which is why I went so hard on ADHD and medication the other day, because I know one thing in the black community is we don't like medicine very much. We're not up for that. We're not up for taking drugs. And so to come out angry about it, that would really help find those people in my community that I need so I can gently suggest that, hey, maybe you might want to try a little ADHD medication just for a little bit, just until you get your routine and structure down. Maybe you want to try it just for maybe a month or so. You don't got to stay on it forever, but you are at the place where a white person would diagnose you as schizophrenic, your ADHD is so bad, right? Like, that's how I feel about it. And like, those are the people I'm trying to find, man. And nothing against white people, I'm not saying that, but I can't talk to my people because everybody jump on. Like, I hear the stories of people talking about how difficult it is to be autistic. All right, but imagine being black and autistic. White America don't like you because you black, they remind you. And then when you black folks be wondering why you don't know how to take care of your hair when you go to get your barbershop, man. Every time I get a new barber, bro, it's a terrifying experience. When I moved to Seattle, I hated having to go get a new barber. I was like, here we go. I'm gonna have to figure out what level of black I need to present as because my barber. And see, right now, there might be some white folks laughing at that. And like, I get it, but the people who I really want to like understand what I'm saying are not laughing right now. They're like, yeah, bro, I know exactly what it's like to be in the barbershop and not know exactly what to say. I be saying I'm pretty sure I'm saying some stupid stuff to my barber trying to connect. Talking about shit I don't know about. But anyway, I don't know how I got on that tangent. White therapist here hearing you. Well, I'm glad that you're here. I appreciate that. I don't really know what to say. I mean, there's so many things I want to say, and none of them are nice. Ugh. And PTSD might, but it's so interesting when people say, instead of this diagnosis, I got this diagnosis. That's because there's so much overlap between all of them. And it just, the diagnosis is necessary insofar as it gives you access to resources. And that's the problem with black people not being able to get diagnosed with the things they need to get diagnosed with because they don't have access to the same resources. Teachers think that the behaviors are just them acting out. And I should probably talk about this a lot more instead of just being mad at parents. That might be helpful. Black therapist and life coach. Hey, let's go. Somebody figured out the cheat code. Let's go. Be careful with that though, okay? If you're gonna be a therapist and a life coach, and I'm not trying to patronize you or trying to be condescending, and you might already know, I apologize, and be careful with that. Because if somebody, you wanna make sure you have a clear distinction between what you do as a coach and what you do as a therapist, and you know the answer, ain't really none. So I'm just saying, treat your life coaching clients like they're your therapist, but have them boundaries. Make sure that, I would suggest starting a second business, honestly. Honest to goodness. I would just start a whole separate LLC for my life coaching business. Maybe that's what I need to do. If I became a life coach, I could help a lot of folks. I have to think about it. Anyway, I like your haircut. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thanks, DJ Black Dude. I'm glad that you get it. My nickname is DJ. So that's dope. I need to find the black folks that know what I'm talking about. Like, sometimes you can't stand white people, but then sometimes, bro, you don't want to say black people because it's not all black people, but we know what we talk. Chris Rock had explained it very well, but then white folks co-opted and thought that gave them a license to say the N-word. But y'all know what I'm talking about. Like, here another story. I was in Target, chilling, you know, flexing this new outfit that I had, and I'm not trying to, bro, see, and that's why I need to find my community, because I wouldn't have to keep explaining myself. But I feel like I have to explain myself because part of my community consists of white America, and if I don't watch what I say, they will think that they can go back and say it because they said that they heard the situational therapist say it, right? So y'all don't go back and repeat this mess. I said it was for black folks, though. And there were some black people, and they saw my outfit, and the guy said, hey, you look nice, but like all you need is the white Air Force Ones, and you would really look good. You know, why you wearing the brown shoes? And bro, I just looked at him and said, I like to make people look. But there have been so many times in my life where it's like, bro, I'm just trying to be black. Can I just be black? I feel like white folks won't let me be black, and some black folks don't think I act black enough, bro. And that shit is tiring and exhausting, bro. It is exhausting. It really is. But it's like, in black culture, like if you're on the outside of it, if you're autistic on the outside of black culture, man, like not on the outside, but like the parallel, you know, like the nerdy stuff, you know, it's tough to be in this world. Barbershop's supposed to be a safe place, and that's where I have an anxiety attack every time I go. I mean, I look fresh as hell afterwards. Just be having anxiety attacks at the barbershop. The struggle to feel black enough. Absolutely. Yeah. Jada Smith, I'm glad you felt it. Good. That means you part of the church. That's good. I'm glad you felt it. I'm gonna start speaking about, because there's more I want to say about it, but I don't want some white supremacist to clip what I'm saying and say, look, even their own black people think this way about them. Not that I'm gonna say anything on that level, but they would just take it out of context. It's not about blaming people, because it's, I don't know, it's white people's fault. But anyway, side note, Jada, you know, I know that if you felt what I was saying, then I know that you have like white friends, and like sometimes you wonder, like, are they secretly racist? The easiest way to tell if your white friends are secretly racist, and we know there's all some level of racism, but the easiest way to tell is to one day just have some Starbucks with them, you know, and just be sitting, chilling, you know, listening to My Chemical Romance. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't do that. We don't. And that's another thing about like not fitting in, bro. I got a black playlist, a white playlist, and a playlist I would listen to if race wasn't a thing. Man, damn. People are like, who your favorite rapper? Fall Out Boy? Every single one of them. No, damn. But anyway, what was I talking about before this? Somebody remind me. What was I saying? Oh, to tell if your white friends are racist. The easiest way is you got to make sure that they're comfortable. You have to first make sure that they hella comfortable, right? And then you just ask them, like, so what are your thoughts on Candace Owens? And I am telling you that if your white friends are racist and you ask them about Candace Owens, I am telling you, if you sit there quietly enough, and if you just wait and kind of gas them up a little bit as they talking about, I am telling you, you will be able to tell quickly. Because, man, they don't realize it, but like, one, Candace Owens is a victim too. I don't like the stuff Candace Owens says. It's reprehensible, but I can understand. And then this is where people are gonna really get upset with me. Not everybody, but my community won't. See, that's who I need to find so I can just talk to y'all. Anyway, if you do the shit I'm talking about right now, like when you talk, like you're in my community. But anyway, I don't like the stuff that Candace Owens says. Candace Owens has said some reprehensible stuff about her own community. Candace Owens was bullied by black people when she was younger. It's the truth. That's the only answer to that question, because I was on some Candace Owens type shit before I had my my awakening with George Floyd. That's what it took to get me to wake up from the Black Republican syndrome. But like, Candace Owens is a victim, man. Candace Owens is doing her best to make sense of a world that ain't made for her either. And so the fact that she chose this particular route of dealing with it, but the thing is, Candace Owens can't go back. Ain't no going back for Candace Owens. Candace Owens is stuck with, unless Candace Owens is a guest one day on the Situational Therapist show, and we talk through this, Candace Owens, it's gonna be hard for her to go back. You know what I'm saying? Like, you done said some stuff. You done said some stuff. She's a product of white supremacy. Absolutely. Absolutely. So I understand how people get that way, you know, and I'm trying to catch people before they get that way. Yeah. 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 Now people know I done told the secret. I can't wait to see the TikTok challenge. I want to see it. I want to see the challenge where I asked my white friend what they thought about Candace Owens, and this is what they said. Is there truly a safe space for black people we create for ourselves, but white people always co-op? I am not saying that there is a... I am not saying that there's a place on my app that is like the Noah's Ark, where I kind of pick black folks out. I'm not saying that at all. I would never say, because that would not be right. I am not telling you that on my app that's available for Android and iOS, that there is a secret Noah's Ark like section And the thing is, we go by the, well, I don't want to tell you what the criteria are because that's when we get into weird places, but there's an experience associated with being black in the way that I'm talking about. And the way I've asked my questions on the questionnaire, I'll find you. I really will. I'll find you. It's hard to find a safe place for black folks. Legit, how would I find out if someone is racist? That's an excellent question, Dion. Thank you for asking it. Boy, I just realized I was about to say a bunch of stuff and I decided to take a break and think about it. Let's take a break for a second, Spider-Man, and think before we answer this question. How do I tell when someone is racist? And when people talking about the thing, I just want to make sure that everybody gets a chance. And then we're gonna do something with the color. I don't know what the color gonna be, but we're gonna do something with the color. I'm thinking about going back to red. But how would you know if someone is racist? Well, oh man, it's such a hard question. Because the way that the system that we live in is set up, every single instance of racism can be explained away. You can always explain it away. It's kind of like narcissism in that way, right? Every instance that someone does, individual act of narcissistic behavior, you can have an excuse for, I'm sorry, I was tired, I was sleepy, that was just my ADHD, I didn't mean to forget. Like, I don't know why people don't realize, like, narcissistic folk will use diagnostic labels in that way. And my problem is my community folk, they just believe it. I forgave the same person 7 times for the same shit over and over and over again because I just believed every performance every single time it was there. Y'all, we can't be like that. And that's kind of what it is with racism. Like, after a while, the cumulative effects of their behaviors, like, people love to say, and this, again, for black folks, man, I need to find y'all. For black folks, love to say, well, you bringing up the past. Nah, baby, I'm pointing out a pattern. I am pointing out a pattern of interaction. Because I got like scripts that I need to give black folks to tell their family so that you can get past this BS. But yes, Lord, how do you tell if somebody is racist? At some point, you just make a decision and say the way that you are behaving with me is something's off and I need you to explain it. Who the hell is April Harder? Should I know who that is? Who is April Harder? Am I supposed to know that? Do y'all know who? How do I find out that my black friend colorist? Could you say that again? Could you explain that question a little bit more for me? I'll answer it for you. Explain that for me a little bit more. Racism is constantly evolving. Well, I mean, racism is sort of still the same, but the ways in which they hide it is evolved. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. There's so much racism embedded in the mental health system, in most of our systems, but I just try to I'm gonna try to do some more stuff. I keep doing the same thing with Spider-Man. Ooh, that was sick. Get that mid-air change. Let's go. What else we got? Racism Recovery Center was started by April Harder. Yay? I don't know about it, boss. Do you find it hard to work experience as a POV? Do you find it hard to work in like therapy? Yes, it's very difficult at times because sometimes I have to what's hard about being a therapist isn't the clients. I have had racist clients before. They weren't racist when I was done with them, but I've had racist clients before. My problems working as a therapist have everything to do with other therapists. The amount of microaggressions I've had to deal with from idiots, bro. Like from people who are not like me, who did not pass both of their licensing exams on the first try. That's right, everyone. I'm also licensed as an LPC, but I wasn't paying all that money to keep that license. But I'm about to go get it back. I really am. My problem working as a black person is just other therapists. Like when I have to call for like crisis issues from my clients, like I think, well, let me make sure that I'm, or if I have to go somewhere for my clients, let me make sure I'm wearing a suit. Let me make sure that I look presentable. Let me make sure that I look professional so people take me seriously. I worked at this one place called Mindful Therapy Group. Oops, was I supposed to say that? Well, not Mindful Therapy Group. Mindful Therapy Group is a great place full of great therapists. and they do exactly what they say that they're going to do. But there was this one time I worked at this group practice, and just the amount of times that I felt like I had to play dumb for white people's benefit, bro. And being in a field where I'm not dumb, bro. I got a whole master's degree. My bachelor's is in criminal justice. Like, I'm not an idiot. And having to pretend like I'm an idiot all the time for other people's benefit, bro. I'm not saying I know everything. Hell, TikTok has taught me it's a bunch of shit I don't know. But like, I get tired of dealing with racism in my profession, bro. Y'all are supposed to be damn therapists, man. So I don't know, man. We gotta do something so people have more access to therapists of color. Thank you for talking about my fade. Yeah, I'll check into April Harder. Probably not this week though. You know what? Just stay subscribed and like one day just randomly remind me, and I'll try not to get mad about it. Because I sometimes just respond with violence to things. What else we got? Any other questions? You look handsome. Thank you so much. You know, on that note of looking handsome, I do want to let the black folks that I'm talking about with the specific mental health concerns that I'm discussing, who are probably autistic, but like would never get a psychologist to let them know that, and also grew up like feeling uncomfortable at the barbershop and stuff like that. You are probably a lot hotter than you think you are. I just want to let you know, black folks, who the people I'm talking about, the black people who got the white playlist and the black playlist, the black folks who listen to the same song over and over and over again on repeat. And like, when we say over and over and over again, I mean like 3 weeks at a time, right? Y'all folks, you are probably a lot more attractive than what you think you are. You just grew up in a family where folks was always criticizing you, so you don't know how to tell yourself you look hot. Oh, damn. Bullying me, huh? Get off of here. You're dead now. I don't care what you say. That dude just died. That dude just died. You are probably a lot more attractive than you think you are. You just never learned how to like gas yourself up because of it, you know? Because no one in your family really told you how hot you were. Not that they would tell you that you're hot, because that could get really uncomfortable very quickly. Please excuse my language. What I mean though, is that no one in your family has really told you like, you're attractive, you're beautiful just the way that you are, you know? And so you internalize that, and that makes you think that you're not attractive, which means you don't do attractive shit. Like, you know, because there's some people who can read the signals and stuff that you're putting out, right? There's some folks who are looking for those signals. The last 2 people I dated were people in customer service, which is not who you're supposed to date, but that's the way relationships work. I just kept going there enough, being nice enough without creepy. And then one day I realized, like, you were smiling at me just a little bit too long. And so I asked a question that would indicate that I would like to have a future conversation with you. And so that could be anything from, you know, so are you in school? But that's not how I did it. I can't tell you how smooth I did it because I don't want everybody knowing all of my secrets and stuff. And creepy dudes will take this and go be extra creepy and stuff because it could be creepy if you don't know how to read situations. But long story short, black folks, black autistic folks, we gotta come up with a name, something that ain't already taken. And then I can go to school to get my PhD. Or I can start research on it, and then we can enter our own diagnosis into it. I know we got post-traumatic slave disorder, but I just feel like my community not gonna like that language very much. We're gonna want something flashy. You know how black people love to have good names for stuff? That's what we need. We need a good title. You know what I'm saying? We already know the color gotta be purple. I'm just kidding. Someone said neurodivergent. Yeah, but I don't want to just put black in front of it. I mean, we could neurodivergent, but black. No, we need something. We got to figure it out. I don't think I have the proper gender identity though because of my androgynous features, so I can't. That's a good point. That's a good point, but I'm telling you this. Look at it in this way, okay? And I don't mean to take away from your subjective experience. And one day, I wore a Persona 5 shirt. This shirt was just a little bit too tight on me, but I like the way that it looks. So I wore a Persona 5 shirt and I went to a gaming expo. And when I tell you the amount of people that gave me compliments and discussed with me about my shirt was overwhelming. So I know that you say that you have your androgynous features and you're not quite sure how to be attractive, or you're not quite sure how to send out those signals because of your androgynous features. I am telling you, the more that you become comfortable with your own self-expression, other people out there will see that self-expression, and like, you might send signals to folks you didn't mean to. I know that there have been plenty of times where I have had to, man, where I've had to let someone know that, like, I appreciate your advances, but, and they really do make me feel good, and I don't want to, like, not enjoy the drink that you just bought me, but like, you playing for the wrong team. Either that, or your game is not strong enough to overcome my heterosexual conditioning. You know what I'm saying? So you might end up attracting folks you don't mean to, but just grow into your gender, like your expression. Express it the way that you want to. Yeah. Express it the way you want to. What's this one? Neurodivergent? Oh, that is sick. Oh, I'm using it. Y'all, what y'all think? What y'all think? Everlasting Rot. Look at this one. Look at this one. Look at this one. Neurodivergent. Bruh, that might be the thing. That might be the thing. That's sick. I plan to once I can afford it. Please stay tuned, because there will be opportunities for individuals who cannot afford my app. I'm gonna show you something that pastors used to do that I ain't gonna do. Pastor would say this app is only $9.99 and you should be able to afford it. That is absolute bullshit, because I remember what it was like to one time try to go to McDonald's and buy a burger, and I paid $31 for that burger that day. I really did. Chase really charged me $30 to, you know, put food in my stomach. And somewhere out there somewhere, a Republican is saying you should have took that dollar and went and bought a bag of rice. And to that person, I say, fuck you. But keep in mind, I'm white if you decide to use neurodivergent. I mean, look, a broken clock is right twice. I'm just joking. I'm just joking. That was a joke. That was a joke. Are you a communist? No. No, I'm not a communist. I'm not a communist. I think that the system of living that we're under, capitalism, absolutely needs to change. I am probably more closely aligned to socialism than communism. And I don't mind saying that I don't think I know enough about all the other options to be able to make an informed decision. So I feel like I should go look more into it, but every single time, you know, I've heard about communism, it hasn't really worked out. And then people say, well, but that wasn't really communism, which, long story short, I think all the discussion about communism and socialism, I truly believe that's just indicative of a larger problem that we have in our society, which is obvious. But this is such a non-answer because I just don't know how to answer it, you know? I really don't. Let's see, how do I tell my dad he's an extreme narcissist? I tried to talk to him about childhood trauma. Well, on my app, I talk about this, what happens when you try to apologize to your parents. You are gonna get one of several responses. The most common response that narcissistic, because we have to be careful with that label. I do not want to become the person that is known for telling people that their parents are narcissists. So let me tell you this story about narcissism really quick, and then we will talk about what we do next. It's 411. Would I ever play Destiny 2? I have Destiny, but not Destiny 2. I have Destiny 2. I can tell a story about Destiny 2 too real quick, but it also goes into with this story. As soon as I remember what I was talking about. What was I discussing? I don't remember. Somebody remind me. Narcissism. Okay, so I just, you know, I'm done caring about people's feelings because I got my hair cut. Look, not everybody in your life is a narcissist. Just telling the truth. Especially the people that you date. Not every single person that you meet is a narcissist. Whenever I got divorced and I went to therapy, because if you get divorced, therapy should be the next place that you go. My therapist tried to convince me that my partner was a narcissist, which was interesting to me because I'm a family therapist and we don't diagnose systems. I mean, people, we diagnose systems. So when I've been saying the problem is the parents, technically what I should be saying is the problem is the parenting. But sometimes it is the person. But I really took issue with my therapist labeling my partner in that way because I'm a family therapist. And I know that, bruh, there's two sides. And I know that it was two hurt people in a relationship trying to make one whole person. How could I expect my partner to respect my boundaries if one, I don't know what they are, and two, my boundary is whatever it needs to be so that you don't leave me? That ain't really a great way to have a relationship. And so somebody in a situation like that, within a relationship with someone who doesn't know how to set boundaries, or is in a relationship with someone whose boundaries are, I hate you, please don't leave me, they can get away with a lot of stuff, and they get away with it because you don't know how to tell them not to. And so by the end of it, it takes labeling that person as a narcissist in order to be able to break out from the relationship, because you're still one of those people who don't know how to set boundaries. I bet this shit is fire as hell on YouTube, listening to me talk with this music play. I can't wait till I watch the replay of this shit. It's gonna be fire. But it's calling your partner a narcissist, because what happens is you start to see the world in terms of either people are or are not narcissists. And there's some truth to that kind of thinking, you know, like everything in the world either is or is not a banana, right? Like that's the truth. Everything in the world is either a banana or it's not a banana, you know, like there's some truth to that thinking. But like your life just becomes very, very small because people are very messy and dirty. Now, what does that have to do with your parents being a narcissist? Well, I mean, if you grew up with your parents, you know, for 18 years, you have a little bit more data on their behaviors. But when we talk about like parental narcissism, it does exist. There are cases of it. I'm not saying that's not true. And sometimes, again, we need to look at them in that way in order to change our behavior, because unless we look at them in that way, we'll just keep forgiving them because they're our parents, you know? So it's a useful construct, but sometimes people apply it way too heavy. What music? Confused kid, you are confused. On YouTube, we are playing Spider-Man, and I'm just swinging around the city as I answer people's questions, and it's actually very sick. Yeah, I hate you, please don't leave me. That's a common thing. I can't stand you. I don't like you. I hate the way that you look. Please don't let me go. Yep. Let's see. Someone just asked me, are you autistic? I am neurodiverse. Yeah, neurodiverse. That's what I am. I'm about to use the fuck out of that. And you know what? I'm not going to give that white person a lick of credit. And because I think that they understand, you know, what it's like, you know, to have, you know what I'm saying? Because it seems like they've done their work. I'm not being funny here, but they said, hey, remember, I'm a white person if you use that. And I am going to remember that. And I think I'm just going to steal that particular phrase from them, you know, get real rich off of it, and then, you know, act like I came up with it. I am. Neurodiverse. Y'all was here when I came up with that, right? How do I fix my internalized misogyny? What a great question. If the universe could stop like putting me on blast though, I would really appreciate it. As I feel on blast right now, my internalized misogyny, how do you stop it? You know, it depends on what the cause might be, you know? I know for me, growing up, my internalized misogyny, because I think we all have levels of it that we have to deal with, mine presented itself in terms of the way in which I objectified women. The first thing I would look at when I saw a woman was her ass or her tits. That's what I did, and it was, I was that person. I really wasn't gonna say nothing about it. Wasn't ever gonna flirt. Wasn't ever go up and talk about it. Wasn't ever do nothing like that. But I was the person who thought that way. And like, I never thought that women were like intellectually inferior. I never thought that. But the way in which I conceptualized their presence wasn't respectful. And just like every Republican, I didn't understand what that felt like until I was objectified. So one day I was in Capitol Hill, and I was just, you know, walking. I should just be able to walk down the street. And you know how like a group of crows is called a murder? I think from now on we should call like a group of Karens a lawsuit. So there was like a lawsuit of Karens in this van. And like they rolled down the window and was like, "Hey, you looking sexy, baby." Like they just did all that catcalling shit. And I'm not gonna lie to you. Part of me felt like, you sexy as fuck. You know? You sexy as shit. You got girls out here doing that trifling ass shit that dudes be doing, bro. You out here getting it. But then also, I just felt like, bro, I am not your entertainment. And if I'm gonna be your entertainment, you need to, you know, drop me a 20 or something. So how do you deal with internalized misogyny? That problem usually fixes itself because either the universe will put you in a situation where you should get the metaphor, or you gonna do it to the wrong person and they gonna let you know. They gonna let you know. What else we got? Not neurodiverse, noir diverse. N-O-I-R. Is that how you spell noir? Noir divorce. I got divorce. Noir diverse. Noir. Is that how you're saying it? That's how we're gonna say it. Noir diverse. Okay. This is dope. This could be a whole podcast. Could y'all see me doing this as a podcast? I mean, I guess I am now, but that would be so fire. To play Spider-Man and then just talk a bunch of shit. And all I gotta do after this is just go read it. Oh, there's a car chase happening. Oh shit. This is how it would be if I was really Spider-Man. Like my city, bro. I feel bad for my city, bro. If I was Spider-Man. Spider-Man, I thought you said you was gonna come save us. Yeah, dog, but you know, I started watching this thing on TV and my bad. I'm coming though. Well, the hostages is dead. Well, you know, you can't be expecting me to solve all your problems all the time. Come here, give me that. Button mashing time. Oh shoot, come on, press it. Oh man, see, I done pressed way too much buttons. I did it. All right, I saved it. We're gonna play until I run out of battery. Yes, please, I would love to hear more about parenting. Oh wait, is there a battle here? Oh, let's go. Oh, they brought the cavalry. Let's do it. Sorry, I'll be back in just a second. I have to kill these bad guys. Okay, how am I supposed to? Okay, all right. I'm not gonna play with you. The police just sitting there. The police just sitting there because they know that Miles Morales is black. Ain't nobody offering no help to my boy right now, bro. That's so crazy. Not trying to help him. Yeah. You got staggers? You got staggers? We got staggers out here in Spider-Man. Yeah, where the popo at? The police just sitting over there not helping my boy Miles. How old are you? 31. Don't look like it though. Don't look like it at all. Yes, Lord. Don't look like 31. I have an older brother that's schizophrenic. Do you have any advice reconnecting with him? Oh boy. Ooh, that's a deep question. That's one of those questions that's like, if you try to answer it, it's gonna be insensitive. Because the way that I think about schizophrenia and its development and the amount of honest to God trauma that goes into it, when I talk about it, first thing people like to say is like, well, ain't no trauma. So I'm gonna tell you a story and then I'm gonna tell you how to connect with your brother who has schizophrenia. Because once that label is given to someone, like that's all you think of. You forget that, you know, what your brother, and you don't have to give me your brother's name, but like people forget that they family members have names and stuff. But I want to tell you a story about schizophrenia and then I want to help you figure out how to reconnect, okay? So I had a TikTok about this that went pretty famous, where every year I have someone call me and say, oh my God, we found a black therapist. My brother has schizophrenia, can you help him? And I say that I can absolutely help him. But first, I'm gonna need the entire family, everybody who's involved with him, to show up for therapy. And they say, well, why do you need everybody to show up? My brother is the one with schizophrenia. So I need to make a video about this. I will make a video about this. But whether it's schizophrenia, depression, anxiety, ADHD, CP, whatever it might be, there is a role that that diagnosis, that that person's symptom plays in the family. And the reason people can't see that is because most people think of families as just one individual person. But a family is a organism. It's a person in and of itself. The way that it works, the values, the goals, the things, like families are goal-oriented systems. They want to keep making members, right? Your family name. And have you ever noticed in Black families how maybe somebody will call you out of the blue one day, they having a bad day, something going on, they really anxious, and by the end of the phone call, they feel better, but you feel worse? That is because that is how the family regulates anxiety, by sharing it amongst each other. And if that relationship is imbalanced, instead of the anxiety dissipating between the two people, the anxiety will just stay lodged in one particular person. And so that serves several functions. One, it serves a homeostatic function in that members of the family can gauge their behavior based on the way the schizophrenic person acts in the family. So for example, I know I'm not that bad because at least I don't do what X, Y, and Z does, or at least I'm not talking about demons, or at least I'm not saying I see stuff, or at least I'm not saying that the X, Y, and Z. And the family will rally itself around that. Like, families absolutely do use things in that way. And so that's one way that that kind of homeostatic mechanism occurs. And honest to goodness, in my experience with working with individuals who are schizophrenic, there's always some truth in the family that other people just don't want to accept. So how do you reconnect with your brother who's schizophrenic? I don't mean no harm, and maybe not think of him as reconnecting with your schizophrenic brother. Maybe think of it just reconnecting with your brother. That really might help. That really might help. Just think of it as reconnecting with my brother, instead of thinking of it as reconnecting with my brother with schizophrenia. Because if you only knew the way that the diagnostic criteria work, if you only knew, you would be very upset with that diagnosis. So that's how I answer that question. And this is why I don't answer phone calls. Hell yeah. I remember one time somebody called me and I could tell in their voice that something happened. And I just said, so who died? And they were like, who died? Well, such and such. Okay. Well, are you all right? Yeah. Well, such and such was really sick, weren't they? Yeah. Well, I mean, weren't we expecting them to pass sometime soon? Yeah. I'm glad they're not suffering anymore. Like, I've always gotten flack for the way that I've processed death in my family, but the only person I cried about that died was when my big mama died. Everybody else, like, I don't know. After Big Mama died, I was like, y'all ain't. But anyway, it's another conversation from another day. What's the best advice to calm? What's the best advice to calm an anxiety attack? Someone said, do you have abs? That is an inappropriate question to ask me, but thank you for asking it because it gives me an opportunity to talk about boundaries. Y'all, boundaries are not just physical. People can cross your boundaries by asking questions. There's so many, man, truth of the matter is, y'all, if I was a whole hoe in Seattle, bro, I could be a whole hoe because I've been out on dates with people who have had such lowest common denominator experiences that me out here in the Pacific Northwest from the South, just being nice, you know, pulling back the chair before they sit down, holding open the door for them. Like little stuff that I think is just basic. People be ready to give me everything. And I'm just like, this is just basic stuff. But I've been on so many dates, and that's what I love about it too, because like my next partner, I'm gonna have references. Y'all out here living in 2000, bro. My next dating partner, I'm gonna have references. Hey, here's a girl I used to date. We still friends. You want to talk to her and ask her what their experience was like? Well, why y'all not still dating? Because I know how to communicate effectively, and we were able to end that relationship in such a way that it wasn't weird, and I didn't have to call each other narcissists. Y'all still into each other? I mean, we still find each other attractive. We just, you know, not dating. Do I need to worry? No. Maybe you should meet her. Anyway, that's people can cross your people can cross your boundaries by asking you questions that are inappropriate. They really can. Nobody should be. Oh, the window washing people are here. Y'all want to see them? I don't know if I can show y'all the window washing folk, but they here and they scaring the hell out of me. Anyway. I'm so sorry. I apologize. I have a bad habit of saying inappropriate questions. You good, boss? You didn't know no better. Now you know. It's okay. To break that habit, though, if you want to break that habit of asking those questions, I think it's just important to take feedback from people when they tell you that, hey, I feel like that question was inappropriate. The only reason that question was inappropriate to me is because you were in my chat and you've made it very clear openly that you are a minor, and I have my rules about minors. I don't know how old you are, but at that age, asking an adult if they have abs is an inappropriate question, but that's okay. Ain't nobody in your life to teach you, so you ain't got to feel bad. You ain't got to feel guilty. Just take the feedback and move on. Don't you ever let no adult ask you that question. That's what's important here. I'm scared of opening up about my problems, and most of the times, yo guys, I'm gonna keep asking the same question till he sees it. Sorry. So, look, I don't think that that's okay, because I have seen the question several times. I've chosen not to answer it because, I mean, I had just chosen not to answer it yet. But like, to continue to spam it, I feel like kind of takes a little bit away from other people in the chat, especially when you say I'm sorry for doing it. Like, I would rather you say I'm not sorry for it, because if you were sorry, you wouldn't keep doing it, right? But I will answer the question. I will answer the question. Let's see. So I'm scared of opening up about my problems, and most times I don't even know how to explain what's up. Well, that is a very valid feeling to have. It's a very valid feeling. Can you say my name? No, because last time I tried to say somebody's name on TikTok, a moderator would be nice. It's just me, though. I don't know nobody who can moderate. The last time I tried to say someone's name live on stream, I ended up saying something very, very gross and like borderline racist-ish. Not borderline racist, but it would have been racist. And then they got me to say some other stuff because I'm a nice person and I think that people wouldn't openly lie to you like that, but the universe keeps proving me that that's not true. Yeah. Can you... Roshana. Okay, yeah, Roshana. You are welcome. You are welcome. Are we obligated to talk to our parents every day? No, we are not. But you might feel that way. You might be. Depends on those family dynamics. Does your family obligate that you talk to your parents every day? Might be what you want to think about. Yeah. What else? Anything else going on? My son triggers my trauma response and I need help with how I respond to him. What therapy do you suggest? Talk therapy ain't working. I would be curious as to why it's not working. But when I have this complaint from parents that their child triggers them, like, I don't mean to be mean or rude, bro. And you can always go back to and say I don't have children. And I know that I've made TikToks about stuff and have gotten angry myself. So, and like, you need to reframe why that child is doing the stuff that they're doing, because it wouldn't be triggering to you. Sometimes whenever I'm getting messages on TikTok or when people are leaving stuff in my comments, I am making a choice to get angry. That is part of the performance of the situational therapist. I am making a choice to do that. I have the ability to have empathy for some of the worst people in the world because I remember that at one point they were a child. But most people can't have empathy with like literal actual children. So your child is triggering you because there's something that you haven't handled in your own life that's showing up in your kid. And honestly, it's just gonna take something happening to where you don't feel like whatever your response is to the child is appropriate. I don't know what that response might be, but you have to get to the place in your mind where that's not appropriate. What game am I playing? Spider-Man. But EMDR would be great, maybe to work through some of that trauma. EMDR, if you could find someone who does that, that would be great. I feel like we need to teach parents that first. Absolutely. How to teach children proper communication. Because how am I going to teach your child proper? There's been times where I have taught a child proper communication, and then you send them back into the family that communicates improperly, and we have the same problem, which is coincidentally why when you send someone to the psych ward, they get better, but then when you send them back home, they get worse, or they get worse after a visit from family. It's obvious if you're used to dynamics like that, someone in the family come talking shit, and they say something that's not really triggering, but it can be if you don't know the context. Like saying, you know, we really love you, but like, you know, they don't do shit to show that, you know? Anyway. What else we got? Yeah, EMDR. EMDR, that seems like the thing. Because for me, when you ask me that question, it's hard for me to be empathic. Because I just think about the kid, you know? On my app, I am more empathic partially because I'm getting paid and there's some exchange for my emotional labor. But it's very difficult for me to be empathic with questions like that. But I'm working on it. Do you play Tetris? Every now and then. Why are you so spot on? Because I grew up in an environment where if I wasn't, I would get my ass beat. How do you feel about TMS therapy? I'm not going to touch that. That is how you set a boundary. I hope that you have informed consent and understand exactly what you're getting into. As it should be with anything, but I shall not touch that with a 10-foot pole. What else is going on? Yeah, Racine. So, yeah. I mean, and Stacy, I don't mean no harm. I'm trying to get better and be more patient with parents. I can't tell parents to be patient with their kids and then get upset with them. Like, I get that, but I just need to get the frustration out first. Do you currently practice as a therapist? Yes, I have a full-time practice, and it is full-time all the time. I don't get no breaks. I don't get no paid holidays off. If I take a time off work, nobody pay me for it. So I lose the money I would see for seeing people, and I have to pay for the vacation. But that's all right. That's okay. I know what I signed up for when I became a therapist. But yes, I am currently practicing. I've been practicing independently since 2015. Well, no, 2017. How do I deal with laziness? Oh, this is a great time to answer that question. How do you deal with laziness? Because a lot of people on TikTok got mad at me because they thought I was saying that because it wasn't ADHD, that means that they were lazy. I'm trying to get people to see like these labels are what we use to classify our experiences. I'm not saying they're not real, but they're constructs. They're just constructs. But how do you deal with laziness? The easiest way to deal with laziness is to realize that you live in a system that's designed to burn you out. You're not lazy. You live in a capitalistic society, and there's really only two modes in a capitalistic society. You are either on and contributing to that society, or you're either off and you are taking part in some sort of rehabilitation program to get back to contributing to society. There's no space for rest. There's no space for being overwhelmed. There's no space for the demands that you have on your life. And so laziness is a coping skill to deal with the fact that you're overworked. Now, there is a difference between being lazy and saying I have things that I need to do and I don't do them. In that case, it's still not laziness, but the meaning that you're attributing to the thing that you need to do is not big enough to get over the feeling that you don't feel like doing it right now. Example, I didn't feel like streaming today. I really didn't. Did not feel like streaming. The only reason that I am streaming right now is because I said that I was going to. I made a YouTube video and I said that I'm going to start streaming on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock. And man, that means something to people. I got to go apologize to the situational practice because I said I was going to do lunch, but I had another issue to take care of. But like, that means something. I know how important relationship is. And if I say I'm going to do it, I want to do it. Because eventually, y'all, my eventual goal is just to get paid money to do this right here. I want to cut back on therapy significant, and I just want to get paid money to do this. And then people who pay me money can ask questions, I'll answer them, And we'll just do that for the rest of our life. I mean, I'm gonna play different games, but still. Healing from religious trauma. What an excellent question. Y'all just coming with the hits today. Y'all just coming with the hits. How do you heal from religious trauma? The first step to heal from religious trauma, if you want to like knock it all out, if you just want to knock out all your religious trauma at one time, the easiest way to deal with religious trauma is to go buy a Ouija board. Let that sink in for just a second and you'll understand why. Yep. So go buy a Ouija board. Or go buy some pentagram earrings. Or go buy a book about demons. Or what else? What else could you do? But just dive head first into that. You know what I'm saying? Just dive head first. I have some pentagram earrings. I have a Ouija board that I wear on my wrist. I did it in one of my videos one day. Oh, that's how you jump in there. Oh, that's how you jump in there. Yep. That'll solve that problem super quick. A good way to deal with derealization. It depends on how you define derealization. And that's why it's so hard when people ask me questions like that sometimes. Because it's like... And I want to make sure I'm not stepping over any black voices. Are there any black voices with questions? Anyone else? I just want to make sure I'm not missing out on the black folks. Data Wicca, like I did, absolutely. Hey Jessica, welcome to the thing. The Satanic Temple, joining the Satanic. I want to preach it. That would be the, bruh. If I really wanted to truly heal my religious trauma, my first sermon, I would preach it at the Satanic Temple. Do you know, bro? Do you know how crazy that would be? I wish I could be a noir diverse preacher. My sermons would be legendary. What you got, Mila? You got questions? Do you date black women? Oh, the universe, if you don't stop putting me on motherfucking blast, I will tell you a story. Do I date black women? My dating history up to this point has not included black women. I'm just gonna call a spade a spade. And the reason for that is because for most of my life, well, for the past 7 years, I was married. But before that, I had, and I'm not blaming all black women like most people do. I personally, my personal experience, I had never had a good dating experience with a black woman. I just hadn't. Every time I tried to flirt or to date, they would always say, "Oh, you're just gay." Or, "Are you sure you're not gay?" And like, if you really want to like make me not like you. And so, not that there's anything wrong with being gay, but like, I know how it's meant in our community. And so I just always got made fun of and bullied by black women. And so I never considered and allowed myself to... I didn't know that when there was a black girl on TikTok talking about this, like, I'm just now learning about my community. Never in 1,000 million years. Well, now I think back, I just kind of missed it in high school. I should have hung out with the goth kids. That was probably my community. But I just never thought that we could be so varied, and like I could find someone who knows how to play Mortal Kombat, or I could find someone who was as nerdy as me. My town was very small, and so unfortunately, because my town was small, I developed attraction based on the situations and the people that I was with and that I was in. And I am thankful to be delivered from my addiction to white women. It was a long journey, but like, I know what it was like back then. You know, I know that like I didn't even give it an opportunity, a second thought. And I'm really glad that I have been woken up to that, because black women are so beautiful. Oh my God, have you seen oh man, Star Trek Discovery? Whoever plays Commander Michael Burnham, oh my God, she is so fine, bro. Oh my. And see, now we're back to the misogyny thing. I don't mean that misogynistically. I just mean she is so beautiful, bro. That's the word I want to use. So I'm so glad that I can finally conceptualize black women as beautiful. And I know that if I have that problem, there's a lot of black women who can't conceptualize themselves as beautiful. And that's really what I want to speak to. So anyway, that's how I answer that question. I know it was a long journey, but you're saying that. Bruh, I do feel safer. My biggest fear, though, I was telling somebody this the other day. Behind every successful black man is the one white Karen that he dated, who he didn't realize was Karen until after the fact, y'all. But that's all right. We got contingency plans. We got contingency plans. I slaughter you in Mortal Kombat? Are you serious right now? What is your, are you serious? I have my, do I need to, what system do you have? Do I need to get it on PlayStation? Or do I need to get it on, like, where I need to get it? Which one you talking about? I'm sorry, y'all. Somebody on TikTok just said that they would slaughter me. Us chocolate girls don't judge. Plus, I slaughter you in Mortal Kombat. You don't know this is how I mean, let me make sure. Are you over the age of 18 before I start acting funny? Let me make sure before I start being funny. I can't tell. I don't want to be too funny. Yes, PS4. What are we playing right now? What? Did you just say that you could beat me in Mortal Kombat? No, that was a joke. That was because what we could do right now in this moment is I will go grab my Xbox. I will switch this out and I will set up a cross-play room right now in this moment. And we can see if you can beat me at Mortal Kombat. Come on. Come on with it. Amen. MK is cross-play. It is cross-play. Yes, Lord. I just have to point this out. Hisoka's cum slut. You are not responsible for anyone's like. You are correct. That is the truth. But that name, I love it. I love it so much. I mean, if you want to play, we can set this up right now. We can. I'll set up a room called the Situational Therapist. And I'm telling you, I'm not going to go easy, but you might bother me. What you want to do? I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait right now. It is cute. It's super cute. I would love to play. Mom, come on through. Let me know if I need to. Give me 20 minutes. I'm clocking out. Hang on a second, y'all. Hang on real quick. I'll be back. It's time to hang on. See, I said I was going to be done till 5, but somebody then challenged me to the Mortal Kombat. So give me just a moment. Let me turn off the PS4 switch. I'll be right back, y'all. 1 second. This is how I want all my dates to go in the future. Yep. I can't believe somebody done said on the TikTok that they could be, and boldly said they could beat me at Mortal Kombat 2, y'all. It wasn't like a joke. They boldly said, let me know. I'm gonna create a room called a Situational Therapist, and I'm gonna wait for you. We're gonna play some matches. If you guys want to come on over to the YouTube channel, we're gonna play some practice matches before I play my follower. I love the confidence. That's what I'm talking about. You gotta have that level of confidence. For real. What we're gonna do? We're gonna do a first to 10. That's what we should do. We'll do first to 10. Let's do a first to 10. That's what we should do. So what I'm gonna do real quick is we hopped on Mortal Kombat over here. If you ain't joined us, on the YouTube channel, and I'm gonna wait. I don't want to miss nobody the opportunity. And if you beat me, I don't know. We'll figure something out. Thank you so much for commenting on my hair. I know your boy looks good. My confidence comes from my winning streak. Okay. That's fine. I'm glad you're confident. I'm so glad you're confident. I'm so glad that you were confident. They say they confident. I am excited about it. I get tired of talking about the worst things that happen to people all the time. Shit. I'm getting tired of that. Next time, know what I'll do is I'll make sure. Uh-oh. We got some feedback here. Give me just a second in the stream. Let's fix that real quick. I don't want no feedback on the video. I hope they come. If they don't come, that's all right. I just need an excuse to play Mortal Kombat anyway, y'all. I really do. But if you are on TikTok and you would like to watch the first episode of the Situational Therapist bodies his followers. What is this humming noise in the heads? Oh, it was just too loud. Yeah. How can I learn to tolerate anxiety? I have BPD. You need to put yourself in more anxiety-provoking situations. You need to learn to sit with that feeling that you are so uncomfortable with. That's what you need to do. That will help you with your anxiety. Absolutely. I'm at the gym, but we need to run some sets. Absolutely. We should do that one day. So I'm going to go ahead and hit practice mode because we still going to talk. But yeah, I'll tell y'all some stories about Mortal Kombat as I prepare. You know, um, Mortal Kombat, truth to God, saved my life, y'all. On the cool, Mortal Kombat saved my life. Um, I don't, man. If I ain't have this game to focus on after that, y'all, divorce is hard. It's hard. Divorce is difficult. It's one of the most difficult things in the world that anyone will ever deal with, because divorce is one of them things that makes you deal with the fact that soulmates ain't real. Yeah, that hurt, to come face to face with the fact that soulmates ain't real. That would hurt. That would hurt real bad. What is this humming noise in my head? Oh, I know what it is. Hang on. Had a humming noise in my headset. Dudes usually stop talking to me after I play. Look, either you are gonna body me at this game, or you are talking mad, and that's fine. You need that. You gotta have that confidence. You gotta have that confidence. I might have to sign you up on the situational therapist team. Let's go and warm up though. That's what we gonna do. We're gonna warm up while we waiting. I always say it takes real marriage to get some. Bro, I am never, ever, ever getting married again. Ever. I don't need to sign no paperwork. Oh yeah, you know you like that haircut. I'm gonna make sure that you can see. Yeah, your boy is. Yeah. Now, I told you the glow up was gonna be great. I ain't even got my makeup done.
Conquer. Fight. Local. Online. Combat League ranked set. Casual versus